Greetings, folks. I'm your host, Abhyuday Verma, and you are listening to the IIM Marketing Podcast. In today's episode of the case study series, we will be discussing the Fashion Channel. It is a 2007 Harvard Business School case and is based on real life events. The case revolves around our protagonist of the day, Dana Wheeler, Senior Vice President for TFC, who is tasked with creating TFC's new segmentation and positioning strategy, a classic STP case. Let's get into the shoes of our protagonist. Imagine you are the new Senior Vice President of a successful TV channel. This success has brought along with it competition. Lifetime Fashion Today, a fashion TV channel targeted at the younger female audience, and CNN Fashion Tonight, which is receiving a positive response from the male segment. Both of these channels, despite being new to the industry, are delivering better ratings than TFC. Also, the audience they are pulling command a higher premium from advertisers. The cable TV advertisement market is a 20 billion USD market. TFC being the only big fashion TV channel could rake in about 1% of this ad spend. With the addition of two new players, this 1% will be split up between these three parties and possibly more down the line. Up till now, TFC has not had any segmentation strategy. Their marketing theme has revolved around fashion for everyone. Does this need to change now? Can you think of the strategy that will deliver results? And can your strategy convince the board to act against the motto, "Don't fix what is not broken"? The case provides us segmentations based on gender, age, and behavior. The behavioral segments being fashionistas, who are all about following the latest fashion. Shoppers and planners, who are not as invested in fashion as fashionistas but tend to keep up with it. Last category, basics, which is self-explanatory. They're basic. Now let's go over each option that the case gives us. Now that we realize that this is a decision-based case, we have a set of three options among which we have to select the best possible scenario based on our analysis. So scenario 1 is where we target all females aged 18 to 34. Now the case suggests that this option will give us a rating boost from 1 to 1.2, that is a 20% boost, but it will decrease the CPM being the advertisement revenue that the company earns per 1,000 people. It decreases from $2 to $1.8. So there's a 10% reduction in this. So the net effect, if you multiply 1.2 into 0.9, is you get 1.08. That's a 8% upside. Now, the assumption this scenario banks on is that marketing spend will increase awareness and adoption across the targeted audience. The drawback is that it's not really a strategy. It's just basic ad spend and doesn't add any competitive advantage. Scenario 2, fashionistas in focus. Now this is the scenario where we put all the chips in the fashionista basket. This strategy could reduce the ratings by 20% from 1 to 0.8, but it will increase CPM, once again the ad revenue, from $2 to $3.5. That's a 75% jump. And the net effect, once you multiply the changes in both, is a 40% upside. Already much better than what we saw in scenario 1. Now let's go over what assumption the scenario takes. The assumption being that fashionistas will accept TFC and stay loyal to it in the long term. Once again, TFC has been a fashion for everyone type of channel, and generally the niche audience does not like to connect with a mass distributor. Wooing the fashionistas is going to be a challenge for TFC. The drawbacks of this scenario or this strategy is that 18 to 34-year-old is a very wide age range to be able to predict the entire segment's behavior. Secondly, this strategy includes an additional spend over the marketing spend of $15 million per year on fashionista specific programming. Lastly, it alienates the mass consumer. As such, TFC could lose it all if fashionistas don't accept it in the long term. Now let's move over to scenario 3. Middle ground, fashionistas and shoppers planners. Now in this strategy, the channel focuses both on fashionistas and the shoppers planners. This strategy promises to give a rating boost of 20% from 1 to 1.2 and an ad revenue boost of 25% from $2 to $2.5. The net effect that this gives is a 50% upside, the best we've seen across the three options. The assumptions that this strategy undertakes is that a non-niche service would not turn fashionistas off. Again, the same point, fashionistas or any segment which has a very passionate following generally does not accept mass distributors. So this will be a tough one. TFC will display fashionista specific content when fashionistas are watching and shoppers planner specific content when shopper planners are watching. This is achievable through TV viewership data and behavioral analysis. The only thing lies with the execution of TFC. But we'll assume that TFC implements it correctly. Now the drawbacks for this strategy is that it involves an additional spend of $20 million every year on programming for fashionistas and shoppers planners both. You will have received the data alongside with it for each scenario and the base scenario as well. And when you crunch the numbers, it's very clear to see that scenario 3 is where you not only get the most revenue, but you also get the highest margins. A margin of 39.5% can be achieved with scenario 3, but I will say that scenario 2 is not far behind with just a 2% slimmer margin at 37.5%. Now that we are all well versed with the options that we have, let's go over the criteria for evaluation. The first being profitability. Let's go over the criteria for evaluation. The first being profitability. Second being probability of success. Third, impact. Fourth, time before that impact. Fifth, acceptability of board. Now, fifth one is very crucial because if the board says no, then there's really no point of all the number crunching we've done. Let's go over the options. Now, option 1, where we had targeted all females from 18 to 34 age range, it gives us probability. It gives us profitability, but the probability of long-term success is low. As explained earlier, it's just basic ad spend. Option 2 could take a decent amount of time for fashionistas to accept TFC. And even if they do, time before impact is high and probability of success is suboptimal. Option 3 gives us the best shot at profitability, probability of success, and since TFC already caters to a wide audience and this strategy does not alienate anyone but the basics, which is a very small and unprofitable market segment, the boards should be quick to accept it as well. What's more, the programming mix of fashionista specific content and shoppers planners content gives the latter, which the shoppers planners, a convenient step up to more fashionable content when they are ready. As such, not only will TFC capture the current shopper planner, it will also capture the future fashionista. To conclude, I believe TFC, Dana Wheeler, and you should go with option 3, focusing on fashionistas and shoppers planners both. That's all I have for you today, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.